Hey fam, what up though? I'm praying I can get this uploaded before midnight, but just because I stopped posting doesn't mean the work stopped. So let's keep going. I want to say it's okay to lay down, but don't stay down. So it's been 6 days since I posted the video, and I'll be honest with you. The mission, this message, this movement is heavy. Not just because of the stories I've shared, but because of the stories I've carried. The ones I've lived through. The ones I still feel in my bones. I stepped back not because I gave up, but because I needed to refuel. Because every word spoken during this campaign has come from a place of deep, lived truth. So, I'm not here for content. I'm here for change. And when you move from a place of purpose, sometimes you need to rest before you roar again. So, I'm back. It's day 22 of Child Abuse Prevention Month, and there are still children we haven't named. Still stories we haven't told. Still systems that haven't been held accountable. And I'm not backing down. To those who stood with me, thank you. To those watching silently, I see you. And to the ones still unsure if this cause is worth fighting for, just remember, the child who woke up tomorrow because no one did, the child who won't wake up tomorrow because no one said anything. Now, let's get back to it. Let's raise our voices. Let's sign the petition. Let's revamp CPS. Let's protect our children. Let's begin within, because the mission hasn't changed, and neither have I. It's day 22. Remember their names. We remember their names. Remember their names. Say their name. Today, on day 22 of Child Abuse Prevention Month, I return with a heavy heart and renewed determination. The past days have been challenging, filled with moments of doubt, isolation, and emotional exhaustion, but the mission remains clear: to honor and protect the children whose voices were silenced too soon, honoring the innocent. So let's take a moment to remember some of the children whose lives were tragically cut short due to abuse and neglect. Naziah Harris, 13, Detroit, Michigan. Naziah was last seen on January 9th, 2024 after school. She was allegedly groomed and SA'd by Jarvis Butts, who is now charged with her unaliving despite prior allegations against Butts. Earlier reports weren't thoroughly investigated. Then we have Imani Lateef, 13, Toledo, Ohio. Imani was reported missing in March 2025, and her body was later found in an abandoned building, and her father, Darnell Jones, was charged with her unaliving. And reports of potential abuse had been made, but authorities found no evidence to remove her from the home. Then we have Lori Page, 7, Tallahassee, Florida. Lori remains were discovered near nearly 2 years after her disappearance. And her father, Andrew Wiley, has been charged with her unaliving. And evidence suggests prior abuse, and Wiley had attempted to flee the country. Then we have Octavia, 2, St. Joseph County, Michigan, found unresponsive, and her mother has been charged with her unaliving. Authorities suspected foul play upon arrival. Then we have Xavier Williams, who, doing severe abuse from his mother and boyfriend, is no longer with us. Despite injuries visible, he was removed too late. Then we have Alyssa, 6, out of New York, left here due to a brain injury from prolonged abuse. Mary Ellen Wilson is a case that started back in the 1870s. In fact, the first Child Protection Agency case, Samaya, 7, Florida, untreated pneumonia. Her mother, a nurse. Bruce Jackson, 19, not being able to care for himself, found rummaging through the garbage. Then we had Jordan Turpin, 17, escaped from her abusive parents, alerted authorities, that then led to the rescue of her 12 siblings. Kylie Freeman survived being essayed by her father, who recorded and distributed the abuse online. And her case highlighted the need for stronger protections against child exploitation. Neil, 16, out of Louisiana, survivor of clergy abuse, who bravely came forward, leading to the conviction of a notorious priest. Barry Davis, 11, out of Louisiana, abused by a religious administrator who confessed but faced minimal consequences. And his case underscores the need for accountability in religious institutions. The unnamed infant, 2 months old, out of Wisconsin, disturbing abuse by her mother and partner, highlighting the vigilance in reporting and protecting. The fight for child abuse protection is not new. Senator Nancy Schaefer dedicated her life to exposing the flaws with Child Protective Services. In her report, The Corrupt Business of Child Protective Services, which shed light on systemic issues that still persist today. We must continue her legacy, continue fighting, continue seeking accountability. Call to action. These tragedies underscore the urgent need for system reform in Child Protective Services. We must advocate for the transparent investigations and, Lord Jesus, the accountability for those who fail to act on warning signs. Comprehensive training for CPS workers to recognize and respond to abuse effectively. Community involvement to ensure children's voices are heard and protected moving forward. So to those who have supported this campaign, your voices are invaluable. To those who have yet to join, I urge you to stand with us. Sign the petition to revamp CPS. Share these stories and commit to being a part of the solution. Let us not allow bureaucracy or complacency to overshadow the urgency of this cause. Every child deserves safety, love, and a chance to thrive. So in closing, as we remember the names of those we've lost, let us transform our grief into action. Together we can build a future where every child is protected and cherished. Now, in thought of what someone DM'd me, and I'm paraphrasing, while the cause appears to be rooted in good intentions, there are serious concerns about the broad data collection being proposed. There's no clear explanation of where funding would come from, who would control or access the data, or how long it would be stored. But based on past experience, lengthy petitions often bury their true intentions in complex language, and since government actions require resources, this proposal raises red flags. Who would oversee the data? To those who raise concerns, I hear you. I do. Yes, the cause is deeply moral. It's not just about paperwork or proposals. It's about the children who die while adults debate. I understand that any mention of data or systemic reform can raise red flags, especially when we've seen government processes abused, stretched, or manipulated in the past. I don't dismiss those concerns. In fact, I welcome them. But let me be clear. This isn't about harvesting data. It's about accountability. We're asking, why are so many children slipping through the cracks at multiple CPS reports? Why are some families over-policed while others are left in danger? Why is there no national standard for how these agencies follow up? If we don't gather honest information, how do we improve the system that's clearly failing? There's no profit motive here. I'm not funded by an organization. I'm not backed by any hidden entity. Hell, it's just me and God. I am a survivor who has lived the very gaps this petition seeks to close. I was the child no one followed up on. I was the story buried beneath bureaucracy. And now I speak not to tear down, but to build better. So yes, I will revise the petition for clarity. Yes, I'll work on simplifying the language and ensuring transparency around what's being requested. But no, I won't stop asking hard questions just because they make some people uncomfortable. Because comfort didn't save the children. Truth did. Truth will. Courage did, and courage will. Advocacy did, and advocacy will. This is not about government control. This is about moral responsibility. And if we want systems to serve us, they must be seen, questioned, and transformed by us. CPS Revamp, #it. Child protection is now. Justice for survivors. And we're beginning within. Today is day 22. It's Child Prevention Month. If you haven't, go take a training over at www.d2l.org. Darkness to Light, Stewards of Children. Thanks for listening. I'll see you guys tomorrow, God willing, day 23.